Ladies and gentlemen, you often comment on my red t-shirts and you tell me that I should have EFF colors and EFF logos. Sometimes I'm even suggested that I should wear an EFF red hat and join the Red Fighters. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, I come out with a one-time only offer, and that is if Julius Malema personally reaches out to me and says, Mr. Shepherd, will you join the EFF and join me in the fight against the capitalist system? I will oblige and I will join and I will show you all my card. I will wear my cap and I will become an EFF member. For the reason I tell you this is that it would appear that the EFF are becoming less radical and less racist. Here to talk about this with me is Ramon. Hello, Ramon.
Yes, hello, Byron. So this is a story that caught my eye, and I found it very, very interesting. So let's go through it very quickly. So there is a sort of township in the far east of Joburg called Bredell, and Bredell is an informal settlement, and it basically consists of 200 people of mixed races. There's blacks, there's whites, and there's coloreds as well in the mix. And what's interesting about it is that EFF members have come in, have cleaned up the township, and are helping out residents, irrespective of race, in terms of a sort of charitable agenda. They're giving them aid, they're giving them food, and most importantly, they actually hired someone from this place called Lulu De Beer, who we all know as the lady with like dreadlocks and the white EFF member that everyone knows on Twitter at least. Like, I don't know about you, the EFF wants to win this by-election for this particular shantytown township place with Lulu De Beer, a white woman, as the ward councillor
Say, councillor.
in that particular place. And I've just found it very, very odd because we were under the impression that the EFF sort of hated white people, and we still believe that to the core. Perhaps Julius Malema himself. I wonder what he thinks of this because the way I see it, like, this is a very good news story for South Africa. Like, the radical commies are becoming far less radical because they're helping poor whites. Or maybe I'm just being romantic and naive.
No, I don't believe you are being romantic or naive. And the reason I say that is because recently the EFF has also come out against the ills of the state. And he basically talked about Lesufi's army of ANC volunteers, basically saying that political parties in South Africa are actually abusing state resources in order to further their own ends. So it does actually appear that Juju is starting to lose his love of centralized control and the over bloated state. In fact, he actually uses the words that Lesufi is looking to bloat the civil service. So who knew? Maybe he understands that the private sector is actually important and possibly capitalistic ideas may actually be required in a modern economy. And if that is the case, well, Ramon, you may recall we did a whole video on this where we said what happened if Juju actually relaxed his commie ideas and actually embraced Western ideas of capitalism, freedoms, and all forms of national identities, putting South Africa first. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I mean, I don't think the man has changed his stripes in any particular way, but before, like, the white EFF member was always the object of ridicule, right? You and I would laugh about it, like these people are just insane or drug addicts or something like that. But this is the first, and you still think that. Look at you smirking in the corner there. But the difference between those people and these people is like these are people who voted DA before, these are people who voted ANC before, and they don't have any sort of service delivery. Like, their previous votes were wasted votes. And here, the EFF has made a sort of major positive change to their life to help them out in their little shanty town. That just doesn't jive with them being overt commie racists. And to the depth of my core, I really do wonder, what does Julius Malema actually think about this? Like, is he angry? Is this under his direction or not? I mean, who knows? Maybe they will win this ward in time to come. Is that going to change his views on how politics works in this place? I don't know.
Now, what I would like to know is if you actually got together all the EFF councillors across the country that actually legitimately won wards, you can count them all on one hand. And with that being said, it does mean that if they actually win this ward, that she will be like 25% of the actual amount of ward councillors that actually won a vote. So, maybe Juju needs to rethink about that when he adopts belt Pottinger type strategies in order to win elections, eh? Because in my view, that's exactly what Julius has done. I mean, we've often heard it being said, even by Mr. Fix for Call. He claimed that when Juju left the ANC, he basically stole a lot of the ANC Youth League strategies and he put them into practice, which does make me think that possibly part of that strategy, which he stole from the ANC, perhaps was the Bell Pottinger campaign against white people, white monopoly capital. But I do wonder, as time's gone by, and we know that a lot of Juju's funders are white monopoly capital, right? Here's looking at you, Mr. Cigarette Smuggler. But I think it's actually become apparent to Juju that, he kind of needs the white population in order to fund his cause. And he may actually find some of the people in the white population who are also part of the forgotten generation because of the ANC's bullshit that they've implemented since the dawn of democracy in this country. He may find them actually a very sympathetic party to get on side. And I wonder how long it will actually take him to realize that.
I mean, we'll need to see, because even there is a speaker of the EFF saying that poverty has no color, right? And the EFF are showing this, and they are not inviting the world to it. So apparently the Citizen caught this on a whim. They didn't actually have a leak anywhere, or the EFF didn't invite them to see what the EFF was doing in this shantytown filled with whites and blacks of equal poverty. So I don't know. Is the EFF becoming right-wing? Is it just electioneering before the elections next year? Are they just trying to soften the hearts of white South Africans so that they could massacre them at a later time when they are in power? I mean, who knows? Who knows at the end of the day? But I don't think we should sort of laugh at white EFF members anymore. I mean, it still doesn't make sense to me that you join a party that literally said they want to kill you or send you back to New Zealand or wherever the case might be. But
maybe that's why they're doing it, because they can't get out the country legitimately. And they think, well, if we join the EFF, they'll give us a free ticket to Australia. I don't know, man. I don't know the logic here. I don't know.
But the fact that the EFF are doing this without fanfare, the Citizen had to go look for them. The EFF didn't say anything about it. And then when the Citizen actually got there, it's like white and black people trying to sort themselves out, and the EFF are helping them charitably. That's a good news story. I'm not going to vote EFF tomorrow by any means. I'm not going to join them. Unlike Byron, he would join them at a drop of a hat. Bloody political whore he is. But I think it's a good news story. I think it's important to showcase that, maybe the EFF is not the sort of radical genociders they would hope to be in time to come. But perhaps, as I said, I am just being naive here.